Hi everybody, welcome to the kitchen. This is a very easy and inexpensive side dish for Thanksgiving. This is an acorn squash and it was on sale at Key Food for 79 cents a pound. So that is very inexpensive. And there is a very simple and easy way to prepare it. We're gonna roast it in the oven, and this is how my mom always did it. She put maple syrup in it and some butter. And now I know pure maple syrup is expensive, but Aunt Jemima's is perfectly fine. You can totally substitute it, no problem. And if you even really want to, you could just put some brown sugar in there if you don't have either of those. So we're gonna cut this in half, and then I'll scoop out the seeds. We're gonna put it on our baking sheet, and I'm gonna roast it in a 350-degree oven until it's fork tender and looks great. So I need both hands to cut this big guy, so I'll show you in a second. Okay, great. See, now we've got seeds inside. This is a squash, acorn squash. It's just like a pumpkin, butternut squash, so we've got to remove those seeds. We'll scoop them out. All right, so I've got ½ tablespoon in each cavity. I'm gonna take a ¼ teaspoon of kosher salt and drizzle it over both. Okay, and then I'm gonna fill the cavity with the maple syrup, and I'll put 1 tablespoon of maple syrup in each one. All right, so I have maple syrup, there we go. 1 tablespoon. I'm just eyeballing it. I know I should have a measuring spoon. I'm sorry. But I think I can judge how much a tablespoon is. All right, so we got a tablespoon in there, tablespoon in here. I'm gonna put it in the oven, 350 degrees. You can see I've already got sweet potatoes in there too. I'm hoping to make a sweet potato pie for you guys. So let's get that in, and this is gonna take quite a while. So probably an hour. But I will double check and make sure I give you the correct amount of time later. Now, if you're somebody who loves roasted pumpkin seeds, you can do the same thing here with the squash seeds. Just toss them with some olive oil, sprinkle it with a little salt, and roast them in the oven. And they're a nice, good snack, so don't waste them. Actually, maybe I'll do that right. All right, let's check on our acorn squash. Now, how do we know if it's done? That looks beautiful. Look at that. Aren't they gorgeous? Take a fork. You're gonna see if it's fork tender. All right, oh, it sinks right in, see? Now, unfortunately, you get the impression of the fork, but you know, how else are you gonna tell? So those are ready to come out of the oven. And you know, oh, some of it's spilling, uh-oh. All right, so you can see how glorious that is. You have a little like soup bowl of your butter and maple syrup, and then you put them on your plate, and as you can see, it's quite substantial, so this does take up a big portion of your plate, and so it is filling, it's healthy. Well, not sure about that since we have maple syrup and butter, but the squash is a healthy vegetable, so that way you have a nice accompaniment to your turkey, and it will be nice and filling. This is also good, like if you're gonna have company over, maybe you have a Cornish game hen to serve, because it does take up so much space on the plate. You can get smaller acorn squash, so if you have a bunch of people to feed, you could get small ones. The other thing is that I didn't take off the bottom, so this one's kind of uneven. If you do want them to lay flat, just slice off the bottom so it is flat. Don't slice enough to get through into the cavity, because then you're gonna lose all your filling, your butter and your maple syrup out the bottom. So just be careful if you're gonna cut it so it sits properly. Anyhow, this looks absolutely delicious, and this is a budget-friendly recipe for everybody for Thanksgiving. I was lucky enough, I found the acorn squash, 79 cents per pound, and I just used the cheapo Aunt Jemima syrup instead of the maple syrup, since that's so expensive, and it tastes absolutely delicious.